The strength of mindset. Achievement originates from a choice to take charge of your existence rather than being steered by the circumstances of life. Champions grasp this essential principle. They don't rely on the right feeling, ideal situations, or sudden waves of inspiration. They manufacture their own drive by selecting discipline over ease. Each day, they rise with intention, their behaviors motivated not by emotions, but by unwavering dedication to their goals. They understand that emotions are fleeting, but discipline is lasting. Discipline is the solid base upon which they construct everything they desire. While the average person floats through life, reacting to whatever comes, champions live on purpose. They don't merely wish for improvement, they treat it as a daily objective. They realize that true liberation doesn't come from dodging duty, but from mastering it completely. Every second they control their impulses is a second their inner strength becomes stronger. Winners don't view discipline as limitation, they regard it as the road to excellence. They have conditioned their minds to look past the immediate pain and lock in on the future rewards that come from sustained dedication. It begins with the tiny choices: waking up at your set time without hitting snooze, completing your planned work despite your mood, rejecting interruptions, and concentrating on what genuinely counts. These small wins might appear minor, but they are the building blocks of the routines that define who you are. Champions realize that every decision holds weight, every movement has meaning. They know greatness isn't achieved in a flash, but earned through a series of disciplined behaviors repeated over time. They do not fall prey to passing feelings, they command them. Discipline is a strength, and just like any strength, it becomes stronger the more it's exercised. High performers never retreat from pushing their limits. They actively seek out situations to test their self-restraint, to stretch themselves further, because they understand that comfort is the enemy of transformation. When tempted to take the simple route, they pick the difficult one, not because it's easy, but because it's right. This way of thinking sets them apart. They interpret struggle not as danger, but as a moment to grow tougher. They excel under pressure because they know adversity shapes who they are. They understand discipline isn't simply about enduring hardship, but about doing what must be done. It's about living in full alignment with your deepest goals and principles, regardless of what life throws your way. They never let justifications dictate their behavior. If they make a commitment, they honor it. Their promises are sacred, not only to others, but to themselves. They recognize that betraying a promise to oneself is the gateway to weakness. That's why they protect their commitments with intensity. They respect themselves enough to follow through. It's not that champions don't feel uncertainty, worry, or temptation. They do, but they've trained their thoughts to place discipline above emotion. When fear whispers, quit, they move forward. When laziness tempts them to stop, they push harder. They know that emotions are momentary, but the effects of their choices are lasting. Top performers don't let temporary feelings steer their lives. They are fueled by a clear vision, a mission, a personal code they refuse to betray. In a noisy world full of distractions, they've learned how to say no. They don't spend their time on pointless entertainment because they deeply understand that time is their most priceless resource. They protect their focus with the same passion others use to protect their valuables. Every hour poured into their mission is an investment in what's to come. They understand that discipline isn't about denying life, it's about organizing it around what truly counts. That's why they rise early while others sleep. That's why they work while others relax. They have a crystal clear purpose, and they're willing to pay the cost to achieve it. When setbacks appear, they don't fall apart. They pivot. They don't linger in self-pity. They analyze the moment, extract wisdom, and take immediate action. To them, Failure isn't defeat. It's a stepping stone for evolution. Discipline grants them the endurance to keep pressing forward, even when the way is rough. They don't anticipate life to be effortless. They embrace the truth that anything valuable requires sacrifice. This mindset gives them unstoppable power. They're not defined by what they face, but by how they respond to it. Winners understand that real discipline is about repetition, not rare bursts of massive effort, but continuous action stretched over time. They are not thrown off course by short-term difficulty because their eyes remain on the long game. Day by day, they put in the effort, even when it hurts, even when no one is watching. That steady grind generates momentum, and momentum brings results. They know that extraordinary achievement comes from small, consistent, disciplined steps taken again and again. They take full control of their lives. Winners don't point fingers at fate, fortune, or others. They know their outcomes are the direct product of their own choices. This accountability empowers them. They are not powerless. They are the creators of their lives. Even in hardship, they ask, "What can I do about this?" Not, "Why is this happening to me?" This mindset keeps them strong and keeps them advancing. Self-discipline isn't punishment. It's a blessing. It grants them the authority to craft their own fate. While others drift and react to life, winners architect their journey. They choose the person they want to become and take steps every day to bring it to life. They understand success doesn't hinge on luck or genius. It's born from steady, disciplined labor. They don't rely on fleeting motivation. They lean on the toughness of their habits built through relentless discipline. Every decision is a building block toward the life they envision. They don't let distractions steal their attention, and they don't let failure weaken their resolve. They chase excellence with unyielding intensity because they know the only barrier between them and their goals is their willingness to earn it. They don't dread effort. They welcome it. They've realized discipline is the great equalizer, the one skill anyone can grow, yet only a rare few choose to. Those rare few are the winners. Recognizing the strength in struggle, they grasp the reality that life isn't meant to be free of hardship. It's about developing the inner power to rise above it. Challenges don't frighten them because they've conditioned themselves to perform under stress. They don't chase ease. They pursue the route that forges improvement. Each hurdle they surpass is proof of their self-control. Success isn't something they expect to be delivered. They're prepared to earn it. Success isn't random. It's the product of tireless dedication. Champions realize that effort is the true price of success. While talent might offer an initial edge, they understand that consistent labor determines the final result. They don't sit around waiting for the right moment. They manufacture it. Every morning they get up with intention, pushing beyond their limits, fully aware that excellence is crafted through steady progress. They have no desire to be ordinary. They chase greatness, knowing full well that greatness demands sacrifice. Where many speak endlessly about their aspirations, achievers demonstrate theirs through their actions. They don't spend hours making hollow declarations or entertaining fantasies. They know talk has no value. While others get lost in distractions, they sharpen their abilities, elevate their skill set, and pursue mastery. They understand that recognition doesn't come from potential, it comes from execution. That's why they show up every day, ready to outwalk every competitor. They don't just crave success, they demand it from within. They don't rely on a wave of motivation, they possess a constant internal engine. Even on days when exhaustion tries to pull them back, they push through. Even when the odds feel stacked, they commit even more. They know that what beats intensity is consistency. It's not about one burst of effort, it's about sustained effort always. They know that wasted time is gone forever, so they guard it with vigilance. They are fiercely protective of their attention. Long hours don't scare them. They know that excellence is born there. Others might complain about being tired, But not them. They welcome fatigue. They view discomfort as evidence that they're evolving. They're not in search of shortcuts. They embrace the long road because they know it's where real transformation happens. When others avoid hard choices, they double their efforts, stretch themselves further, and walk willingly into the discomfort zone. Taking complete accountability, true progress begins where comfort ends, and they've chosen to live there. Excuses are foreign to them. They own their outcomes. If they fall short, they don't place blame, they reflect, analyze, and rise again, stronger. They don't sit around hoping opportunity knocks. They build their own doors. They act first, always searching for improvement, always leveling up. They reject mediocrity. They refuse to be out-hustled. Competition fuels them. It's not something they fear, but something that pushes them to elevate. A relentless work ethic is rooted in understanding that real success is a long-distance race, not a dash. They are patient with the process, but aggressive with their grind. They don't look for overnight success. They are ready to put in years of effort without any assurance because they trust in their power to shape their future. When most surrender at the first difficulty, they go further. They understand that the hardest battles yield the most glorious victories. Every effort they pour in is another layer in the foundation of what they're building. They don't see effort as a burden, it's a gift, a chance to get stronger, a chance to rise, a chance to prove their worth. They are moved by vision and are ready to pay the cost to bring it to life. They don't get lost in trivial things. They realize that every second has value. Their focus is sharp and unwavering. They don't bend to public opinion. While some chase validation, winners let results speak for them. They're willing to be misjudged, mocked, even criticized because they understand that in the end, outcomes are all that count. They work quietly and let their success be the noise. Living for progress, not applause. They know that excellence is created in solitude, in the quiet, thankless hours where no one sees. That's where true greatness is molded. Winners are obsessed with progress. They don't just work hard, they work efficiently. They continuously assess, searching for smarter ways to improve, faster, stronger, more refined. They are lifelong learners, always seeking wisdom, always growing. They don't fear setbacks. They see them as stepping stones. Every misstep is a lesson, every fall a chance to recalibrate. To them, failure isn't a final chapter, it's an opportunity to evolve. Relentless work ethic is not just a practice, it's a way of thinking. It's knowing there's always another level, always something more to conquer. Winners are never content. They realize that the enemy of greatness is settling. Achieving one goal doesn't slow them, they immediately set another. They don't get comfortable. They're always reaching, always striving. They aren't distracted by fleeting pleasures because they know the real reward lies in long-term triumph. They trade momentary ease for lasting reward. Their vision is so vivid that nothing can shake it. It's not just about working harder, it's about working with direction. Every move they make brings them closer to what they envision. They're unyielding because they understand that in a world full of quitters, persistence is their greatest strength. Competing with themselves, they don't measure themselves against others. They measure themselves against who they were yesterday. Their goal is to outperform the person in the mirror. It's not only about winning, it's about becoming the greatest version of themselves. They take pride in the effort, in the sacrifice, in the uphill battle, because that's where identity is forged. They're not chasing success, they're becoming it. They don't track hours because they understand that time doesn't define success, results do. They press on. They grind. They aim higher. They understand that relentless effort is the equalizer. Where you begin doesn't matter. Others' opinions don't define you. What truly matters is your willingness to give everything. Winners give their all, and that's why they rise to the top. The truth as a weapon. Truth is their sharpest tool, and they wield it with care. They're honest with themselves about who they are, where they are, and what it will take to improve. They don't waste time hiding from flaws or pretending to have it all figured out. They confront themselves in the mirror with courage and clarity. They may not be flawless, but they are relentless because they never stop backing themselves. True winners aren't shaken by someone else's accomplishments. They don't treat greatness as something reserved for a chosen few. Instead, they recognize it as evidence that extraordinary achievement is within reach. When others triumph, they feel motivated, not bitter or jealous. They know the world overflows with opportunities, and they have unwavering confidence in their ability to capture them. They don't waste time measuring their progress against someone else's. They are too focused on evolving into the highest version of who they can be. They protect their inner belief with strict discipline. Victors don't permit toxic thoughts to invade their mindset. They stay mindful of whose voices they hear, what content they absorb, and where they place their attention. They build an environment of elevation, surrounding themselves with individuals who uplift, challenge, and believe in them as fiercely as they believe in themselves. When someone tries to cast doubt on their dreams, they don't stop. They move forward undeterred. Skepticism and negativity don't sway them because they understand one truth. Belief is a deliberate decision, and they've made theirs. They choose to believe in their vision, their strength, and their greatness,